Who are the chosen people? I think maybe the Australians. They live on a huge island with tropical seas and no one ever bothers with them.
If you ask me about the chosen people, I would say the Saudi Arabians got it because look at all that oil.
I don't know the answer to that question either. I have a hard time with the term chosen people.
I try not to see it as a superiority thing or an elitist thing. I try to see it as just like women and men are different. There's no superiority, hopefully. I think that when the Jewish people speak of themselves as a chosen people, it's more a concept of a different obligation, different duties.
The concept of the chosen people, it doesn't mean better, it doesn't mean worse, it just means different.
The concept of the chosen people. I mean, there's like 1,000 cliches that I could answer with this, but if you pick for the team, play for it. That's the concept of the chosen people.
What's the concept of the chosen people? You know, in the Torah it says that the Almighty chose us. We made a covenant with God. We have a covenant with God. He is our God, and we are His people. Now, what does that mean? It doesn't mean that the Almighty is God of the whole universe. He cares for every human being. He takes care of every human being. There's nothing that is done without Him. So what does it mean that we have a covenant? Exactly what the words say. We made a deal that we will bring His word to the world. We will be an Am Kohanim. That's what the Almighty said. I'm going to choose you to be a nation of priests, a nation that will be there to introduce the world to the concept of monotheism. Did we do it? We did it. Introduce to the world the concept of all humanity is one people. We're all brothers. To introduce to the world love your neighbor as yourself. To introduce to the world social justice. We've done the job. That's what we were chosen for. Unfortunately, we've lost our way. The world has done a job on us, and an awful lot of Jews have forgotten that there is a God. An awful lot of Jews have forgotten that we have a mission. An awful lot of Jews have gone off and looked for their own good times, so to speak, and that's bad for our future.
I'm worried about assimilation, but at the same time I know that with less Jews in the world, if they're more into it, like, things would be a lot better.
I'm very worried about assimilation and intermarriage. It's a silent Holocaust and it's killing us. It's killing us slowly, and it's definitely impacting the Jewish world.
I respect my ancestors for keeping their traditions, and that's why I recognize myself as a Jew today. But am I worried about it personally? I've had like a string of non-Jewish girlfriends, and yeah, I'm a bit torn up about it. So, I mean, I'm 50-50. It's difficult for me.
My parents did intermarry. When they divorced, it became very complicated growing up with two separate religions, and I don't think that's a positive thing for a child.
You know, I come from South Africa, and there's assimilation there, there's assimilation all over the world, and before we know it, there's not going to be any Jews around.
You know, in the Bible, if it's God's given law, and a good 2/3 of the world believes that the Bible is true, then the Almighty says, listen, if you don't listen to me, then I'm going to bring you back, whether you like it or not. And if the only way I can bring it back without doing miracles, the only way I can bring it back is having the non-Jews spit you out, that's the way it's going to happen. It says it time and time again. So are we doing, the Jewish people is assimilating. We're going around saying we don't want, as a nation, we don't want any part of this deal anymore. We made a covenant, we're reneging, yeah? And in the prophet Ezekiel or Yecheskel, the prophet says, there'll come a time when the Jewish people says, Ein lanu chelik ein lanu chelik b'lekei Yisrael, we don't want no part with this covenant with God. And the Almighty says, Chai Hashem, I swear, emlo ba'af uv'chemo emloch aleichem, I will be your king until the end of days. If it has to be through wrath and through anger, that's what you're going to feel. But you're not going to get lost. No how. And you know, our rabbis of the Talmud said, let's thank the Almighty for that promise that we're not going to get lost. We are the nation of God.